Hello trainers and welcome to another episode of Saccharum Versus. My name is Professor Saccharum and today I have another Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle for you. Today's match is an OU match, same team I had last time, just running it again. I got this battle directly from my live stream on twitch.tv/Professor Saccharum. Link is in the description, check it out every Saturday probably, depending on schedules. But I have a match against Adam, who's packing the Landorus T, Fortress, Conkeldurr, Charizard, Gengar, and Rotom Wash. I know that wasn't an exact order, but just because I couldn't remember Rotom's name off the top of my head. But without further ado, let's get this battle started, as he is going to lead off with his Landorus T, and I'm going to be leading off with my Magnezone, thinking that he was going to be leading with Fortress. I've been mixing it up the entire time, as he does get the Intimidate off, and seeing as I don't want to stay in to catch an Earthquake, I decided to switch into something that could take it a little better. I was debating for a little bit, but I did decide to go into Ferrothorn, because although it is gonna do a lot, it's not gonna do too much, enough that I can actually take one, and with Leftovers Recovery and a potential Leech Seed, I'll be almost back at full in no time. So I decided to switch into Ferrothorn, as he decides to withdraw Landorus. Adam does decide to withdraw Landorus. Did I say his name is Adam? I apologize if I didn't. As he does go into his Fortress, as my Protect fails, I believe. That's what I went for, because I was scouting to see if he was going to go for Earthquake again. We both just decided to exchange rocks here. He goes first, going for his Stealth Rocks, and I just go for mine, because, you know, I saw the Charizard on the field, and I figured that would be a really good opportunity to have Stealth Rocks up. But I also forgot that this was his Rapid Spinner, and this team, to my knowledge, does not actually even carry any sort of hazard control, aside from my using and setting up Stealth Rocks. So he decides to Volt Switch, I'm guessing thinking I was going to go into my Magnezone, which would have been a decent play, but I just decided to stay in, and his Conkeldurr comes out, and I kind of freak out a little bit, but I was like, I'm going to catch whatever it is with the Leech Seed. Unfortunately, I missed the Leech Seed. So there's that. As I do gain some Leftovers Recovery, I'm almost back at full, as he just does decide to knock off my Leftovers, but he is going to be taking off the some of the Iron Barbs damage as well. As I just go for the Gyro Ball right here, because I was wondering how fast Conkeldurr was in comparison to my Ferrothorn. Here I just decided to go for Protect, just to scout out what he's going to do. The Drain Punch does not come through, as he does decide to switch out moves and go for the Ice Punch, thinking I might switch into Latios, which I just figured Iron Barbs is going to be doing more damage. If I get this Leech Seed off, I'll be recovering as well, so he'll be doing more damage to himself in the long run if I just stay in with Ferrothorn. On top of that, I can just Protect stall it and until it just safely knocks out. Sorry, that's something stuck. As he does decide to withdraw, and I decide to go on the offensive just because I was curious to see if I can knock it out with a Gyro Ball. But he does go into Gengar, which is not going to be able to live a Gyro Ball. I relied basically on Gengar's natural speed, and I'm guessing it's speed investment that I had too. So Gengar was down and out pretty quickly. Nice one-shot, nice, and Ferrothorn doing a lot of work right here. As the Fortress does come out, and I go for Protect right here just to see what he's going to do. I kept thinking that he was going to explode on me, which would have been hilarious. I was looking forward to it, I was hoping for it the entire time, but he didn't. So he's going for the Rapid Spin. So I figured I'm going to try and get some more damage off, but instead I'm going to switch in and try and trap it, because I wasn't sure that Volt Switch would actually take it out, and I actually don't think I recognized that it had Volt Switch before. So he does go for the Rapid Spin and get rid of his rocks, and I said, okay, he's trapped, and now he's going to basically be two-shot by this Magnezone, and he can't do anything about it because he's trapped. As he's now in full health, so his Sturdy is restored, as the Hidden Power Fire does come off, and the 4x weakness is going to bring it down to its Sash. It's Sturdy, my apologies. The crit didn't matter, it's 4x weak, and that was a Choice Specs Hidden Power Fire, as he does go for the Volt Switch, and I didn't know that Volt Switch or U-Turn could take you out of a trapping ability, so that was definitely news to know, something to note for me in the future. As the Charizard does come out, I predicted in the beginning that it was Charizard X, and I decided to switch into Terrakion just in case, because I realized I didn't really need it this battle. It was kind of just to bait out and see what he was going to do, and if anything, if it was Charizard X, I could just pull off an Earthquake or a Stone Edge and just see what I can do to it. So he does end up revealing that he's Charizard X, and I was super happy when I got the prediction right, and he does go for the Dragon Claw, which is going to do a ton of damage, just a ton of damage to this Terrakion, my Terrakion. as he does decide to withdraw, seeing that the Earthquake is on its way, as that was a good play on his part, sacking off the fortress just to see what I was going to do. He might have thought I was Choice Banded, maybe even Choice Scarfed, but in fact I am Life Orb according to my item and the damage I took. So he does go into Landorus T right here. I don't want to sacrifice my Terrakion just yet. I want to save it for death fodder for later, or for a KO fodder for later. So I do decide to go into Not Too Slow to take it any hit that he would try to go. Because the only thing that he could have done potentially was knockoff, but even then, I wasn't too worried about it. As he does decide to go for the superpower, and he does get the attack and defense drop. So Latios is eating it up, Not Too Slow is eating it up, as he does decide to withdraw here, and I said nothing's going to really want to take a Draco Meteor. So let's just go for the Draco Meteor and see how much this does, as he does send in the Rotom Wash, and I said the only way he'll take this well is if he's specially defensive, and lo and behold, he's specially defensive, taking about half HP. So with that being said, he's going to get his leftovers back, and when I saw that, I said he's probably the Pain Split variant, so I don't want to really stay in, and I'm sorry that my radiator's just going off like crazy because the heat's turning on. As I go into Porygon 2, to take any sort of special hit that he wants, and if anything he burns me, that's great. I can take a burn. I really don't appreciate it, but whatever. As he does decide to go for Volt Switch, that is loud. I apologize. As he does decide to Volt Switch into his Charizard, which I knew Porygon, because it was my specially defensive wall, I don't want to take this. And I switched straight into Terrakion to just kind of get a free switch into my Altaria. I figured this was my point to try and get into Altaria for free, where I could then Mega Evolve and get a Hyper Voice off and potentially KO it. As he does decide to go for the Dragon Claw, Terrakion is now down, and I am able to get freely into my Altaria, and I will be able to get the Mega Evolution after taking some Stones damage and Stealth Rocks damage. And he does decide to switch, not wanting to get a pixelated Hyper Voice or potentially any sort of anything really, return or anything coming off his way, because he didn't know what set I was, apparently. So I did decide to Mega Evolve and go straight for Hyper Voice, because this is my specially offensive Altaria. Still, literally, it's the exact same team as last time. I haven't changed it one bit. As the Rotom Wash does end up doing, taking it a little bit, but I am able to go for a second Hyper Voice, and I'm able to KO the Rotom because I do outspeed naturally. I know Rotom seems like it's pretty fast, but it's actually not, to what I know. As his Landorus does come in, drops my attack, I don't really care because, again, I'm especially offensive, as he does go for the Rock Slide, which was going to do a decent amount of damage, but I was more worried about flinching than anything, because I can cleanly 2-hit KO this thing, and I was able to get, as this turn I am going to start going for Roost to try and make sure that I'm at full health, because my point at this, I thought it was inside, and I thought it would be perfect to finish the game up with Altaria, which doesn't actually end up being the case, but he does go for another Rock Slide. I'm able to get a Roost up. So that was a small bit of a spoiler in the battle, but it's not really too much, because right here I'm just going for Roost again. I am able in the next turn to go for Hyper Voice incredibly safely and knock out the Landorus unless it's somehow crit. As he does go for the Rock Slide again, he doesn't flinch me or anything. I'm able to go for Hyper Voice, and Landorus is now down. Now the only problem with this was that at this point I didn't realize, I thought I could take any one hit from Charizard, which would have been perfect. As I do decide to go for the Hyper Voice, as he does set up Dragon Dance. Now, this was slightly scary because if he survived this, which I wasn't sure if he would, I thought I would one-shot, but I forgot that Fire does resist Fairy, which made it neutral. As the Tough Claws boosted Stab Flare Blitz with a Dragon Dance, a +1, is going to be able to do enough to knock me out at that range of HP. I don't know if it was a high roll, I don't know if he got a little bit lucky there, but it is able to do enough, and I am able to go out to Not Too Slow because I am a Choice Scarf Latios, haven't lost my Choice Scarf. I'm able to take it out with a Psyshock. I could have gone for Draco Meteor, but I believe Psyshock was my best play because he still had Conkeldurr in the back, and Conkeldurr, probably being Assault Vested, would have just taken the Draco Meteor like it was nothing, so I go for Psyshock right here, and that is good game on Adam. This Conkeldurr does go down, and Latios brings it through. The crit did not matter. He was at a really low range of HP. It was Choice Scarf, max special attack, and on top of that, it was a Psyshock. It was super effective and stab, and he was just low, not physically invested. But thank you for the game, Adam. It was awesome. It was on my live stream for those of you who did not catch that in the beginning. twitch.tv/Professor Saccharum. We had a lot of fun there, so if you missed it, I feel really bad for you because you should have joined it. It would have been great. We had 18 viewers. I guess without rambling any further, and this is because I only showed this team off once. I already showed this team off once. I'm going to show off another battle from the live stream because it was really fun. But thank you for your support. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Leave your friend codes in the comment section below, and any battle codes that you've had. If you occasionally, I'll look out on Twitter or on the Facebook group that I'll leave in the description as well. Wi-Fi battles I'm looking for, and but if you want to really have a chance to battle me, I'll be live streaming. I have people who are with me just to give me friend codes and stuff from people who are in the chat if I'm not paying attention to it. So please be sure to check it out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!